Calaroga Shark Media.
Hi there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Boy, what an exciting night in Newark, New Jersey. Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill was there. The governor-elect promised the entertainment event of a lifetime at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center and JPAC. And who were there? It was an evening with Conan O'Brien and Stephen Colbert. Hope they found something to talk about. Of course, they talked about late night. I don't know if you heard this. Stephen Colbert's show is coming to an end. Conan O'Brien said, "I'm sad about the form, but I'm a 52% optimist, and I believe that humans find a way and really find people who are 15, 16, 17, 20, 25 right now are going to use what's available to make beautiful, hilarious, funny things. I have to believe that. It will not look the same way as our path. It will not be the same path, but it'll more or less be the same idea." Addressing Colbert directly, "One of the first things I said to you when this news broke, there isn't a person on this planet who's worried about Stephen Colbert. These shows are a way for Stephen Colbert to relate to people, but they are not the only way. There are so many different things that you can do and you're going to do that they're going to give you enormous amounts of pleasure, and you're going to be great at it. You're just not there yet. You haven't begun that yet." Conan said, "There's no better person I could be sharing the stage with right now. The world is your oyster." And double down, whatever Colbert does next is going to be amazing. Now, ABC has some news. I have news for you. Paying attention? I'm lifting the embargo on Hulu, aside from their not-so-good hilarious comedy special. That's a whole other thing. But if you want to just push the green button on your remote and watch Scrubs on Hulu, go ahead, because ABC Disney has made it clear they are not supporting fascism, okay? Why, Johnny Mac? They have renewed Jimmy Kimmel, which is sure to make certain people unhappy. But go ahead. You don't have to walk 3 flights of stairs to watch the Scrubs DVDs. Go ahead and push that button, which is good news for the Scrubs reboot. I mean, I was going to have to stand out in the cold outside somebody's house, peering through the window while they watched Scrubs, which is sometimes how I watch Knicks games, because YouTube TV doesn't have MSG. I'll stand out in the street and somebody else is watching a Knicks game and I watch it through their window. Kimmel commented on Donald Trump hosting the Kennedy Center Awards on Sunday night. The president had said that if he couldn't do it better than when Jimmy Kimmel hosted, he might have to give up being president altogether. Kimmel, of course, has never hosted the Kennedy Center Awards, which Kimmel pointed out, but he welcomed the idea of a talent competition, matching his own skills, which are apparently jokes, drawing, and playing the clarinet, against Trump's ability to golf, spank a porn star, and run a country. The reveal came when Kimmel was talking about how apparently the president did not enjoy 60 Minutes this week. Kimmel said, "I'm sorry you feel that way about 60 Minutes, and the last thing I want to do is upset you at this sensitive time, but I have one more bit of entertainment news to share. I have decided to extend my contract here at ABC for another year. Our show has been renewed until May of 2027 or until the world ends, whichever comes first." On The Late Show with Stephen Colbert tonight, your guest is Taylor Swift. Speaking of Scrubs, Bill Lawrence has a new show coming to HBO. We'll have to pay attention to this one. It is titled Rooster. It stars Steve Carell. One of the co-stars, John C. McGinley, you know him as Dr. Cox. 10 episodes. Rooster is a comedy set on a college campus centering on an author's complicated relationship with his daughter. A lot of good pedigree there. That should be good. Of course, I won't be able to see it because my son went to the AT&T store and got a new phone, and they got rid of the free HBO that I had. So I'm not happy with my son or the AT&T store. I'm going to have to stand out on the street looking through somebody else's window while they're watching HBO and hope their Rooster's on. Very upset about my free HBO going away. Like, very, very upset. Oh, the boiler's back. Yeah. I called them and I begged them, like, will you please come? And they came. Man, it was cold here. Sarah Sherman has a special on HBO on Friday. Again, I wish I could watch it, but, hope my son enjoys his new phone. She's doing a lot of press. I'm saving a lot of the press for Friday when the special comes out. But one of the interviews she did was with Nylon.com. And they said, I imagine people will watch this special and be like, is she okay? Yeah, I'm concerned that people are going to be like, oh, Sarah's so funny on Saturday Night Live, and have no idea what they're getting into when they watch this one. Sarah said, it's funny. I did a show a couple weeks ago, and the merch table was in the room. So the merch guy saw the whole show. I came up to him after the show, and he's like, oh, my God, I thought you were going to be rude and mean, but you're nice. I would hope that in real life I'm a lot tamer, but the show is an expression of some very Jewish neurosis embodied. Some spoilers for the very opening, okay? Spoilers here. I'm not ruining the special for you. But apparently the opening sequence, Sarah says, so many stand-up specials start with the comedian being backstage getting ready and they're in the green room. My version is that I'm not in a green room. I'm in a crypt and my bones and goo are forming. That's my version of getting ready. All right, so that sets the scene for what this thing's going to be. Sarah said, the show is really intense and loud and in your face. It's almost like a total sensory experience. So me and the director were just like, we don't want that to be flattened when people are watching it on their phones on the toilet. Sarah, how long does it take you to make a special? She says, a really long time. I've been touring for 10 years, and this is my first special, so the material's been coming together for a while. She uses prosthetics and said, pitching it to people and being like, I know this sounds crazy, but we need a little bit of budget to do something because stand-up specials are cheap. And we're like, but what if it wasn't cheap? That's funny. The guys from Please Don't Destroy, they've teamed up with White Claw. Please Don't Destroy has created the Roast Host Collection, a new line of holiday essential merch inscribed with various tongue-in-cheek roasts. You see, the collection was inspired by a recent White Claw survey that found that friends who regularly roast each other are nearly twice as loyal, with 78% saying roasting feels playful and friendly. The Royal Host Collection includes a serving platter with "You're so brave for speaking before thinking," a set of 4 dinner plates, also sold individually, with lines like "You couldn't read a room if it had subtitles," and "Unsolicited advice is your love language," as well as a serving bowl and napkins with equally hilarious inscriptions. Kevin Brady is the vice president of marketing for White Claw and said, "The holidays were all about laughter, connection, and maybe calling out your friend who makes the group chat go silent, and we love them for that. We're raising a claw to the good-natured bonding that makes the best friendships feel even funnier and hangs more memorable." The Roast Host Collection, available at whiteclaw.com/holiday. Another merch drop coming out today. Very exciting. Meanwhile, Ricky Gervais is out hawking his vodka. For some reason, when he does it, I find it funny. And when Jim Gaffigan does it, I don't know. I think it's that Ricky is just blatantly telling you he's trying to make money off this thing. But here's Ricky Gervais. He'll take us into the break.
Thanks to everyone who subscribed to dutchbarn.com. If you haven't, go there. You go into a draw. Every month, someone wins a year's supply of vodka, and if you buy ginger spiced, we help donkeys. I've also been totting up the money I'm going to give to animal charities from the tour. I'll do a little press release about that next week. So yeah, Dutch Barn, mortality, donkeys, Merry Christmas.
Out today on the 800-Pound Gorilla channel, Luke Heggie's Tip Rat. Some more details out of Canada about that Dave Chappelle appearance. I scolded Mike from the Letterman podcast on the side. I was like, I thought you people were polite. Why are you being rude to Dave Chappelle? And he apologized because that's what Canadians do. Mike feels bad for the entire country being mean to Dave Chappelle. Anyway, CTV spoke with one person who says she was at the show. Let's hear what she has to say. I have made some edits to this for pacing.
Dave just shut down. He said, yeah, I've done 1 million shows and this is the first time I can't wait to be off stage.
3/4 of the way through, that's when the crowd kind of got a little rude, I'll say. Yeah, rude. He just stood there and he looked at his watch and he's like, I could stand here for the remainder of the show for the next 10 minutes that we have, and you guys can just scream at me and be ignorant, or
Shane Gillis is a Notre Dame football fan. You may have heard that Notre Dame didn't make the college football playoff, and they were like, you know what? We don't need to play in any stupid bowl game. We're good. Shane was appearing on the Film Guy Network, and the Notre Dame topic came up. Shane said he set an alarm to make sure he didn't sleep through the selection show. He was convinced Notre Dame would be in. Then after Alabama showed up at the 9 seed, according to Shane, once you see the number 9 come up and it's Bama, that was worse than watching Notre Dame lose a game. That was terrible. That hurts. Gillis believes there is Bama bias, pointing out that Alabama didn't lose any ranking despite losing to Georgia 28-7 in the SEC title game. Shane said, I understand not penalizing a team for being in the conference championship if they're competitive, or at least don't have -3 rushing yards, but I don't know. If Alabama was competitive at all, it's the SEC. It's the best conference. Technically, Notre Dame didn't really beat anybody, but I'm a fan. I want Notre Dame in there. If you're not hip to college football, Notre Dame is an independent. They're not in any particular conference. Gillis said, it's finally catching up. My whole life, everybody's been like, join a conference. And he said, if Notre Dame does join one, the Big Ten or the SEC would be awesome. Never the ACC after they betrayed us this year. Notre Dame got screwed. Whatever. We'll be back. Watching that selection show and having your team left out, that hurt. My day's ruined. And that is your comedy news for today. I'll see you tomorrow.